Alright, this is John Cola with GrowingYourGreens.com. Today another exciting episode for you, and where we're at today is a special place here in Lake Worth, Florida in South Florida. So if you live in South Florida, you're going to want to come to this place to buy your fruit trees and some other very important crops that you will want to grow in your home garden. And so I've been to this place, Excalibur Fruit Trees, probably like 10 years ago when my friend who lives in the area was buying some trees and I came with him, and I really loved the place back then, but I don't think I was making even videos then. But I'm back here today to share with you guys what Excalibur Fruit Tree Nursery does, because it's a lot different than most of the nurseries that you may, see an ad for on Craigslist or here or there or whatever, And I always encourage you guys to support local family-owned businesses, and Excalibur Nursery or Fruit Tree Nursery is a family-owned business. Now, the other thing that's cool about Excalibur is that they've been doing this for 35 years now, so that's a long time. They have special genetics of different fruit trees that you're really not going to find anywhere else. In addition, one of the things that I like about Excalibur is that you could come here and actually buy the fruit and to try it before you buy the tree, and they also have some samples available too. And they are open basically every day except Sunday from 8 to 4. And I always encourage you guys to get to one of these places early, because you don't want to be coming at 3:45, because this place is large. They're going to show you around, give you a personal tour, and help you select the right plants for you. One of the questions I get a lot is, John, what fruit trees do I buy? So in this episode, what I'm going to share with you guys is my 10 top favorite fruit trees I would buy if I lived here in Florida, South Florida, to plant and to grow. And I have very specific reasons for the ones I'm choosing that you'll learn about in just a little bit. So once you get here, this is like a residential house with the nursery attached. You're going to park against the rock wall. It says Excalibur parking. Once you park, you're going to get out your car, and then you're going to walk up over to the tent. So once you get here, you walk across the street from the parking area. You're going to walk actually into this tent, and there'll be a person hanging out there ready to answer all your questions and help you out. They also have some golf carts ready and waiting so that you can jump on the golf cart and be taken to the different fruit trees you're interested in. Now, it's very important that you know what you're interested in, because they will be helpful and help you select the right ones, but it's always best to know what you want so they could take you there to it, and they could show you the different trees that are available. They have many different sizes, and the costs vary depending on the size and the specific variety of tree. What I want to do next is actually really cool. We're going to go ahead and go into the tent and show you guys some of the fruits that they have available this time of year, so you could buy some to eat for later before your fruit trees start actually fruiting. So one of the cool things about Excalibur Fruit Tree Nursery is that they will offer some fruits during different times of the year. The fruits that they're offering here are all grown on the site, and actually they're from some of the trees that you would buy if you came here. I mean, some of the trees in small pots are already producing, and that's really important, because this is going to save you time, so you can be eating sooner off the fruit trees you're growing instead of later. So at this time of year right now, they got some these guys. These are known as black sapotes, and these are related to the persimmon. They're just black and dark inside. They also have of course the jackfruit, which I love a lot, as well as some avocados and some papayas. And the fruits that they sell here, both the fresh fruits and also the trees, they taste way different than the store. When you go buy produce at the store, say you're buying papayas, you're getting papayas that are, picked unripe, they're shipped unripe, and the flavor is greatly diminished, and the varieties you're buying in the store are very limited. Many papaya varieties are grown because they store and ship well. And when you grow ones at home, you have a wider selection that you could choose from, because they may not store as well, but let me tell you, they're going to taste much better. So what I'm going to do next, actually, we're going to go ahead and get on a little golf cart, get a tour, and I'm going to share with you guys my top 10 fruit trees that I would buy if I lived in this area. But also, we're going to go ahead, before we do the fruit trees, we're going to do 3 bonus plants that you guys should grow even before you start growing the fruit trees. So now I'm with Rudy, and he's my personal chauffeur or tour guide today at Excalibur. And whenever you come to Excalibur, each one of you guys is going to get a personal tour of the place to get the trees that you want. So we're going to go ahead and take off on this golf cart that's actually powered by electricity. Electric, baby. So before I get into the fruit trees that I'm going to recommend to you guys and the ones that I would actually plant, I want to talk about this plant first. And actually it's coming up first because it's actually the most important plant you need to purchase and grow if you own a place here in South Florida. This is known as the Katuk. They might mispronounce it here in the South, called Katuk or Katuk or something, but it's Katuk. And it's also known as a Sauropus, and it's quite a delicious edible leafy green vegetable. So you guys can see this is in a 3-gallon pot, and these guys are standing, I don't know, like 4.5 feet tall. Really nice. This would be great to make a hedge out of, so just plant a bunch, you know, I don't know, about every 4 feet, and it'll actually fill out. You could actually take cuttings of this, stick it back in the ground, or stick it in water, it'll root out, and you could actually have some more. They've done all the hard work for you, so you just got to come here, plunk down your cash, and take these babies home. So this is the standard green Katuk here, and you could just basically just pick and eat the leaves off these guys. And if you do that, what you're going to be rewarded with is it's like a leafy green. It doesn't taste like lettuce. It kind of tastes like peanut butter. And I'm not kidding. This is so incredible. So like if you're making a salad, you could use like, I don't know, 50% lettuce, 50% of this, and it's going to taste like you got peanut butter lettuce. So the green Katuk that they have here is a standard variety. But, you know, here at Excalibur, they got all kinds of cool different varieties that you can't find anywhere else, you know. Matter of fact, all the trees and plants that they're offering here, they propagate here except for the citrus. I guess there's special requirements for citrus, but they do it all in-house. So that's actually quite unique and rare because, you know, most nurseries these days are just simply resellers. So let me go ahead and show you 2 more different kinds of Katuk that they have here that you're not going to find anywhere else. And I've actually never seen them anywhere else myself. So the special kind of Katuk that they have here that you're not going to see anywhere else is actually a beautiful Katuk. Well, they're all beautiful, but they have actually 2 different kinds of variegated Katuk. You know, you could get it over in Southeast Asia, or you could get it here, and I think it's a lot easier to just buy your plants here instead of going all the way to Asia to smuggle these guys back. So I'm glad they have these. I've never seen them anywhere else, and I saw these first 10 years ago. And since all my travels, I've never seen the variegated anywhere else. So that's definitely really cool. The variegated, you know, it's just, you know, the leaves are a little bit different. They have 2 different variegated kinds. They have like a strongly variegated, you know, mostly variegated or mostly white. And then they have a gently or mild variegated kind. And let me tell you, they both taste like peanut butter. So the next plant I want to share with you guys that you guys should also grow if you live here in South Florida, like for sure, is this guy. This guy is known as the Malabar spinach, and there's a green Malabar spinach. They also have a red Malabar spinach. I actually grew the red Malabar this past year, and the berries are just simply amazing. They're like super rich in antioxidants. And yeah, I'll post a link down below to a video I did when I juiced my Malabar spinach berries. And this guy also is going to do great here, even in the summer heat, no problem. I mean, this guy took 100+ degree weather in my garden, and I'm sure it'll be fine here. The thing it doesn't like is the frost. Another one that I'm not showing today that they also may have here is also known as the water spinach. Another leafy green you guys should grow as well. It's going to do amazing in this climate. So the third bonus plant I want you guys to plant if you have space available, like if you're on a small residential lot, don't plant this one, but if you got acreage, this is something you're definitely going to want to plant in your space because it's going to provide you guys a year-round food source, and it's one of the most delicious things in the world. It's these guys. It's a grass, and it's known as sugar cane. Sugar cane grows in the tropics. It takes about, I don't know, 18 months to fully mature, so when I've grown it in a non-tropical environment, it really hasn't produced well for me. But here it's going to be great. Invest in a sugarcane juicer once you got a lot of cane going on, and you're going to thank me for it because it's going to be one of the best things you ever did. Now, the sugarcane, because it is a grass, can absorb up to 90 different trace minerals, so it's very nutritious. Plus, there's other plant polyphenols and antioxidants in there that there's a lot of research on, and it's actually quite healthy for you. And one of the latest crazes these days is going on like a sugarcane juice detox, right? And if you might think, but John, you're drinking sugar water, man, when you drink the sugarcane juice, right? Well, let me tell you guys probably had for breakfast something that had more sugar in it than the sugarcane juice you would make. The orange juice has way more sugar than the sugarcane juice because sugarcane juice, unlike refined white sugar, is mostly water with some added sugar, but also a lot of extra nutrition. And that's why it's really good for it, and you guys should include some every day if you had a you know, cane orchard. And if you do get one and you get a juicer, let me know when you're in full production. I'll come down and visit you. So now I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the fruit trees that I would get on my property here in South Florida, right? And the first tree is actually not a tree at all. It's a papaya plant, because it's not really a tree because it's not really wood here. But the papaya is an amazing fruit, and the variety I would get in this area is this guy. This is known as the Red Lady. They also have different varieties, but I like the Red Lady because it's a nice, deep, dark, rich red flesh. It's actually quite sweet. Actually, I had one for lunch today. And the papayas, they'll basically produce year-round for you, you know, and this will serve a purpose for me because I need to eat every day. The papayas are going to produce all the time, so, you know, you get a couple dozen papaya plants and always have a papaya ripening and going off so that you have it available to eat. So yeah, grow some papaya. Now, I'm getting specifically the Red Lady variety because it is from Thailand, so you could eat actually Thai tropical fruits here in South Florida without having to go to Thailand. They have many other varieties. Of course, you could take papaya seeds from a grocery store bought papaya and sprout those and grow those, but then the quality of the fruit may not be that good. And Excalibur Nursery, Fruit Tree Nursery, has gone through a lot of links to get, you know, some of the best tasting, best fruit trees around. So the next fruit that I would grow is not a tree at all, it's a banana. And a banana is an herbaceous shrub, not a tree, but people call them banana trees, but they're not really a tree either, just like the papaya. But this is another one that I would grow because, you know, they're going to produce year-round for you. And here they have, I don't know, at least over a dozen different varieties of bananas. And the one that I personally would get is actually called the Lacatan. And this is a special banana from the Philippines that actually is high in beta-carotene. And also I've heard has an excellent taste. I haven't yet tasted that one. But, you know, I want to encourage you guys to just grow anything but the kind you get in the store, because those taste terrible, right? And when you grow your own bananas, they're going to taste amazing, right? There's like ice cream bananas and so many different kinds. They also have a red skin banana. That's probably another one that I get. It's a dwarf red skin variety. And the skin needs to be like really almost like black before you eat it. And then the skin has like a tinge of like reddish pigment. And I really want to encourage you guys to grow fruit trees that actually have high antioxidant properties, because I think they can and are healthier than just like standard white banana fruits. So the next tree that I would actually grow is right here. This is known as the black sapote. It's related to the persimmon, but these guys are quite unique. This is in a 3-gallon. As you guys can see, it's already fruiting. They got larger sizes that have lots of fruits on the tree. And I always want to encourage you guys to get the largest size pot that you can afford, and then when you get that size pot, then pick out the largest tree, the healthiest looking tree, the tree that has the most fruit, you know, in that pot size. So you're gonna get the best value, right? And you know, by buying a tree that's actually larger, you know, you're gonna be more bountiful and it's gonna produce fruit sooner for you. Now, the black sapote, you know, one of the things about it is it's not necessarily a sweet fruit, right? But this can be a good thing. I mean, people are really concerned about sugar and all these things these days. And, you know, to me, because it's not as sweet, it's more of a wild type fruit. And one of the things that you get when you buy your black sapote at Excalibur Fruit Tree Nursery is you're going to get the variety called Excalibur. And this is their special variety that in the first of the season, it may have some seeds, but later in the season, these will be seedless fruits so that you guys don't have to deal with it. So that's really cool. But yeah, grow some black sapotes if you live here in South Florida, and you could make some amazing puddings with like black sapote fruit blended up with some dates. That stuff's real good. So the next fruit tree I would grow is actually not a fruit, it's a berry. I guess berries are fruits too. Let's not discriminate here. But this guy is the Thai dwarf everbearing mulberry. So everbearing means it produces all year round. So to me, you know, producing all year round is better than producing like once a year. And that's what you're gonna get with the Thai dwarf mulberry here. And as you guys can see, here's actually a little mulberry right here. Mulberries are really great because this is one of the foods actually that money can't buy. It's very rare to find mulberries for sale in the store. You might find it at a farmer's market occasionally, but most of the time, if you don't have your own tree, the birds get them. And you know, to have optimal ripeness, you know, you need to really grow them yourself and pick them yourself at peak ripeness. Otherwise, they're just not gonna be the same. It's like store-bought raspberries versus homegrown raspberries, you know, major difference. Yeah, so grow some mulberries for the deep, rich, highly pigmented, delicious fruit. So the next fruit tree I would grow is probably because of my girlfriend. This is one of her top favorite fruits, as it is mine. I love this fruit and I wish I could just grow it instead of having to keep buying it. But this is actually known as the jackfruit. Now these trees look small now, but they'll get gigantic. And jackfruits, certain varieties can get up to 100 pounds in one fruit. That might weigh more than your baby. Well, will weigh more than your baby, maybe more than you. But it can make an incredible amounts of fruit, and they have some very special varieties here. Besides the standard, you know, yellow and orange kind of jackfruit on the inside, they have red varieties, and that's the kind I would encourage you to buy because it has a rich, deep red pigment. I really like to get unique fruits. You know, most people have seen like a yellow jackfruit, maybe some people have seen an orange, but it's very rare to see the red jackfruit, and it's more of a crunchy kind. The varieties here, the Mooring. And it's really sweet and super delicious. So that's the one I would get. I'd get a red jackfruit, quite rare, quite unique, available here at Excalibur Fruit Tree Nursery. So the next fruit tree that I personally would get is this guy right here, and it's also because of my girlfriend. She loves this fruit, probably even more than me. This is known as a Mamey Sapote, and the particular variety I would get is known as the Pantene, and actually has a nice, dark, deep, rich orange color, and actually the fruits are rather large, and they have almost a dozen different varieties of the Mamey Sapotes. And I think one of the things that's really sad is when you go to the store and buy Mamey Sapote, it's just labeled Mamey Sapote, and you don't know what variety, and each variety is unique and tastes different than the other. Plus some may grow better and they will have different characteristics than others. You know, some are like kind of like long and skinny, and some are kind of like shorter and fatter. You know, they're kind of like dropping all over the ground here because I think they're like immature fruits. But some of these trees, even in just the pots, are like 20 feet tall and have a bunch of Mameys on there already. So yeah, come during Mamey season, I'm sure they'll have samples out so you could try all the different varieties. So the next fruit that I would grow is this guy right here. This is known as Sapodilla or Chico Sapote. And I just talked about the Mamey Sapote, which I didn't describe how it tastes actually. Ripe Mamey Sapote tastes like a pumpkin pie, like the pumpkin pie you had on Thanksgiving. That's what it tastes like, but in a fruit that's naturally ripened. You know, they do need to be soft and ripened to perfection for them to taste good. Now these guys, the Sapodilla or Chico Sapote, you know, these are also known as brown sugar fruit, and actually they have a variety of the Chico Sapote called brown sugar, but the variety I would get is actually known as the Alano, and that's this guy right here. And this produces a nice size, fairly large, fairly sweet fruit with nice, like, dark brown texture on the inside. And there is some sap in the Sapodillas, and you know, which is known as chocolate, or like it's like chewing gum. But that stuff, when you eat it, it'll get stuck to the top of your mouth, and then you won't be able to get it off. So it's probably best not to eat the white sap. And these guys also, once again, they need to be ripened to perfection. You know, many places I go to buy the Chico Sapotes, it's quite unfortunate that actually they pick the fruits too early. And when they do that, the fruit will never get the optimal level of ripeness. It will never get the optimal level of sugar content. And it's just not going to taste as good as it should. So just yet another reason to buy your own fruit trees so that you could grow them yourself and harvest them when they're completely ripe. So another fruit that actually I would plant, it's not a tree either, is this guy. This is called the Jade Pineapple. And it's a white pineapple that the core that you normally cut out and discard is edible because it's nice and soft. So I had a variety in Hawaii that was actually like this, and it was amazing. So maybe this is the same variety. On this guy, you know, there's no serrated edges on the edge, so it's a smooth kind, so it's not quite as dangerous as standard pineapples. And I'd probably have like a whole patch of pineapples because let me tell you, the pineapples you get in the store, half the time they're not even ripe. And you know, these sweet white pines are absolutely delicious, phenomenal. I have videos where I show and sample white pines, you know, on the camera, and they taste like nothing else. So yeah, grow one of these guys. You won't regret it. And once you got one going, you can just take the top off and then replant it and, you know, get a whole patch sooner or later. So the next fruit tree that I would plant is, once again, not a tree at all. I like these non-tree fruits. But it's these guys right here. They're a palm, and palms are not trees. But this palm is known as the Acai berry palm. And if you guys, go to your local health food store, you can get like acai berry powder or frozen acai. It's actually very high in antioxidants. And this is why I would grow it. It probably is going to make a million little small berries, and you just can't find these guys fresh because they are highly perishable. But here at Excalibur, they offer really rare things that you're not going to find anywhere else, like the acai. So get one so you could be antioxidant rich and have your own fresh acai berries. So now I'm going to show you guys the last fruit tree that I would purchase. And of course, it has to be the mango. Here at Excalibur Fruit Tree Nursery, they have nearly 100 different unique varieties of mangoes. Mangoes is something that's very easy to grow here, and it's something I think everybody should grow. And there's many different kinds, and the kinds, unfortunately, the handful of varieties you could buy in the store, and the ones from the store are usually imported, and they're hot water dipped, and they're picked unripe, so you just don't get the full flavor on how a mango should taste. And some of them taste amazing. The one that I would choose, although it's very difficult and I haven't tasted them all, but of the ones I've tasted to date, this is one of my favorites. It's actually called the Nam Dak Mai, and actually has a really floral kind of flavor instead of just like an overwhelming sweetness. And it's just like, it trips you out when you eat it because you do not think that you're actually eating a mango. But yeah, I'm sure they have ripe mangoes in season so that you can try them. And also go to a mango tasting. I think they do have one here in South Florida, and it's on my list to get to a mango tasting so I can taste all the different varieties of mangoes. So now that you guys heard all my 10 fruits that I would buy if I had a place here in South Florida, one of the things you might be thinking, John, why didn't you say citrus? Why won't you grow citrus fruits, man? Well, like, to me, citrus is like a or subtropical tree, and actually I'd prefer to grow full-on tropicals because I've eaten enough citrus in my life, and some of these other trees that I've shared with you guys today are quite unique and different. And why not grow what is unique and different and what's not widely available? I mean, if you go to the local store, you could often find citrus. Everybody seems to grow citrus, right? But people do not grow some of the unique and rare fruits, and more specifically some of the varieties that I've been able to share with you guys today. I want to thank Excalibur Nursery for allowing me to make this episode. And if you live here in South Florida, anywhere from Miami, West Palm, wherever, you want to definitely come to Excalibur Nursery and support them so that they could continue to be in business and bring in rare plants from all over the world that have been in quarantine, and they have tropical fruit trees, rare, that are not even up for sale yet, that they're propagating in their greenhouses. And if you're looking for something, give them a call. And be sure to check their website. I'll post a link down below, Excalibur Fruit Trees Nursery. And yeah, I've had a really fun time. If you'd enjoyed this style format, hey, please give me a thumbs up to let me know. Also, be sure to click that subscribe button right down below. I have some more episodes still coming up here while on my visit in South Florida. And also be sure to check my past episodes. I have over 1,100 episodes now, sharing with you guys about all aspects of not only growing fruits, but also growing vegetables and how you can grow your food for you and your family at home. So I'm glad Excalibur is here as a great resource for all of South Florida. So once again, my name is John Kohler with growingyourgreens.com. We'll see you next time, and until then, remember, keep on growing. All right, this is John Kohler with growingyourgreens.com through another exciting episode for you. And what I'm going to do today is share with you guys what happened in my garden just the other night, actually. So as you guys can see, my pepper plants